that is Updeshamrita. It contains the nectar of all the divine instruction what is there in the Vedic literatures in a condensed form. So there's a verse, ninth verse of Nectar of Instruction, which describes the importance of Radha Kund. So you'll be seeing on this our screen the ninth verse of Nectar of Instruction. It says, Vaikuntanaj janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsvad vrindaranya udarapani ramana tatrapi govardhanaha Radha Kundam ihapi gokula patehe premamrita plavanat kuryadyasya vivarjato giritate sevam vivekina kaha. The translation goes like that. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathurapuri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Rasalila pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhana Hill, for it was raised by the divine hands of Sri Krishna and was a site of various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Lord Sri Radhakunda stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radhakunda, who is situated at the foot of Govardhana Hill? I think someone is not muted. I'll be muting Anita ji. So this verse explains the different gradations in the spiritual planets. It is said that Vaikuntha, where the Narayana personally lives, is predominantly is in the Aishwarya and a Shantya Rasa, Shantya and Dasya Rasa. So in a Vaikuntha, no devotees is allowed to mingle very intimately with Narayana. Everybody consider Narayana as a supreme lord, and everybody is engaged in his service as a menial servant. So there is a position of Vaikuntha. So Vaikuntha is a planet where the Lord's supremacy of the Lord is completely exhibited, and he's not interacting with devotees in a more intimate, in a more closer way. But Krishna has the supreme absolute truth, has that feel that I want to go more and more closer to devotees. And devotees also have that desire that they want to serve Krishna very intimately, in a very close proximity. So for that purpose, we have the Vrindavan. And it is said here that Mathura, where Krishna personally appear and where Krishna is going to manifest all those intense, intimate pastimes, is superior to Vaikuntha because Krishna personally appeared there. And it is said that there is something more superior to Mathura. So it is more superior to Mathura. The transcendental forest of Vrindavan is more superior to Mathurapuri. Why Vrindavan is more superior to Mathurapuri? Because Krishna performed the best of the pastimes, that is the pastime of Rasalila, where Krishna danced with all these different gopis. So it is said that the Rasalila is the highest manifestation of Krishna's intimacy, Krishna's pastimes. That's how Vrindavan becomes even more superior to Mathura. But it is said that there is something more superior to Vrindavan. So what can be more superior to Vrindavan? It is said that Govardhana Hill is more superior to Vrindavan. So why Govardhan Hill is more superior to Vrindavan? Because in Govardhan Hill, Krishna manifested his mood of protecting the devotees. So when the devotees were in danger, devotees were in difficulty, devotees wanted Krishna the most, at that point of time, Krishna broke all the principle and Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill for 7 days and 7 nights with his little finger, soft little finger, the tip of the little finger of his left hand. So that's how Govardhan was in touch with Krishna for the consecutive 7 days and 7 nights, and it became an instrument for in Krishna's hand to protect all his devotees, which is his prime purpose of protecting all the devotees. Then Govardhan becomes the more superior to even Vrindavan. But there is something more special than Govardhana. And what is that? The Sri Radha Kund is is even more superior to Govardhana Hill, and it is said to be the highest place in all the spiritual planets, highest place in any spiritual existence. So the most intimate, most closest, where Krishna became the liquid form and Radharani became the liquid form, is known as Radha Kund and Sham Kund. So today is the appearance day of the same Radha Kund, which is described as the most intimately connected to Lord Shri Krishna, and is a super excellent, the best of the place, which is even above Govardhan, above Vrindavan, above Vaikunthas, above all those planets. So let us discuss why the Radha Kund holds this position of being the supermost place in the entire universe. These are beautiful narrations by Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. It is known as Radha Kunda Astakam. So we'll be going through these 8 verses and understanding and discussing their meaning. The first verse goes like that. Quote, after the killing of Aristasura, Srimati Radhika and her Sakhis exchanged many joking words with Sri Krishna concerning the necessary atonement for one who has committed the offense of killing a bull. As a result, the Queen of Vrindavan, Srimati Radhika and her Sakhis joyfully excavated and filled Radhakunda with their own hands. May that immensely fragrant Radhakunda be my shelter. So this is a very specific pastime what happened in this Kartik month, and as you know, Kartik month is very special to Krishna is for some reason. We know Rasa Leela pastimes was performed in the Sharat Purnima, was the first day of Kartik, and Krishna performed the lifting of Govardhan Hill, which also happened in Kartik, and Krishna killed many demons, and Krishna also performed the pastimes of Damodar Leela, as we discussed last time as well. So here Krishna is performing one more beautiful pastimes on this Kartik month. And what is this beautiful pastime is he performing? Actually what happened, Aristasura was a demon was sent by Kamsa. And this demon who was in the form of bull who used to disturb Krishna's many different pastimes. So Krishna decided that now I am going to kill this Aristasura because sufficiently he has disturbed my pastimes. So it is said that whenever Krishna wants to kill any demon, especially in Vrindavan, he does not kill by himself. It is the Vasudeva feature of Lord Shri Krishna who expands from him, and he is the one who kills all the demon. Similarly, this demon also, Aristasura, was killed by Krishna in the mood of Vasudeva. So actually Krishna killed Aristasura during afternoon time. And it is said that Krishna meets Srimati Radharani at different sandhyas. In the early morning, Krishna meets Radha Rani and all her devotees, all the Gopis devotees in Vrinda Kund, where Tulsi Maharani, Vrinda Devi and Puran Masi choreograph beautiful Krishna's pastimes. She will decide what kind of dress Krishna will wear, what kind of milk will be provided to them, how much air will be flowing, what will be the background setting and everything. So the pastime in Vrinda Kund, which is the residence of Vrinda Devi, happens in daytime. And in the evening time, Krishna performs his pastimes with Radharani at the Radha Kund, that spot near Govardhan. So in the afternoon, Krishna had killed Aristasura, and now in the evening, Krishna wanted to meet and enjoy Rasa Leela, enjoy the conjugal pastimes with Srimati Radharani. But as soon as Krishna tried touching Srimati Radharani on her shoulder, Radharani just goes far away. She says, you cannot touch me because you are a sinful person, because you have killed a bull who comes under the category of cows. It is as good as our father. Because you have killed a bull, that's why you have to atone for your sin. Then only I will allow you to touch me. Then Krishna says, oh, Krishna accept, okay. So what atonement should I do? Krishna asks from Srimati Radharani. Then Radharani says, you have to go and you have to take bath on all the holy rivers. You have to go to Ganga, you have to go to Yamuna, you have to go to Kaveri, you have to go to all the different rivers. And Krishna says, who has time to go to all the rivers? I am in a mood to perform my conjugal pastimes. What I will do is I will call all those river here and I will take bath. So just by thinking like this, Krishna just said that I will call all the rivers. All the rivers understood Krishna's mood because ultimately they are all devotees of Krishna. All the rivers have their own personification, their own feminine personification, and all of them are devotees of Krishna. Even Yamuna have their own feminine personification, who is Yamuna Devi herself, and that's how she serves Krishna by expanding herself in the form of water, wherein Krishna can come and Krishna can perform many pastimes. So all the personification of different river understood Krishna's desire. So they all by themselves came to this place, and Krishna make one big kunda, and Krishna, all those rivers, flow themselves into this kunda, Krishna kunda, and they go back. So now Krishna has a kunda which has water of all different rivers of the entire universe, and Krishna goes into that river and Krishna takes a bath. So now, and Krishna becomes sinless in Radharani's eyes. It is said that Krishna is apapa vidham, no sin can touch Krishna. It is we who are bounded by these material laws of nature, who have that vulnerability, that gullibility, that we can be touched by Krishna. But Krishna's personification is apapa vidham, no sin can touch him. It was just a pastimes. For that pastime course, the entire thing was being set up. So now, as soon as Krishna takes the bath in the Radha Kund, then Krishna comes out. Now Krishna says, Radharani, you also have become sinful. Why I have become sinful? You became sinful because you took the side of this Aristasura. Anybody takes the side of a wrong person, indirectly he also become wrong. Similarly, that because Radharani took the side of Aristasura, who was a great demon, so Radharani also becomes sinful. That's what Krishna says. Now, okay, what should I do? You should also go and take bath in all the rivers. Then what Radharani does is, Radharani had her bangles, and Radharani took her bangle, start digging the kunda, start digging that hole where all the waters can come, and all the water can flow, and Radharani will take bath. So she very painstakingly dig the entire kunda, and she tried calling all the rivers the way Krishna called, but nobody came, because that was another pastime where Krishna was performing there. So because no river came, then Radharani became very concerned. Where should I get all the water from now? Krishna says, you can take water from my kunda. Krishna says, because I have already called all these rivers, why you have to call the rivers again? Please take water from my kunda and fill it, and you take bath. Radharani says, no, because you have taken bath there and you had leave the sin of killing Aristasura there, I will not take bath there. Then Krishna says, anyways, no river is coming to reside in your kunda, what will you do? Radharani said, I will go to Manasi Ganga, I will fetch water from there. So, just to let you know that Manasi Ganga is another place where Krishna called the Ganga from his mind. That's why it becomes Manasi Ganga. And it is almost 10 kilometers, 5 to 10 kilometers from this place, Radha Kund. So Krishna says, why you have to go there? You will become very tired and you will become very exhausted. It's very far. You can take water from my kunda. Then still Radharani was not taking. Radharani was hellbent. But after some time, all the rivers personification themselves start praying to Radharani. Please, we are at your service. Please take this water. Please. So, being pleaded by all the rivers now, Radharani finally melts down and she takes water from Krishna Kunda. And Krishna gives his Kunda water to Radharani and it becomes a Radha Kunda. And that's how another point where the Radharani takes bath and Radharani comes out. So that's how the entire pastimes of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, which is being described in the Krishna book and 10th canto of Bhagavatam, that's how the Radha Kund becomes the place where Radharani herself took bath. So now we'll move to the next verse. The next verse is, quote, in the land of the hearts of those who bathe in Radha Kund, a desired tree of the superlative prema, which is not attainable even for Krishna's principal queen in Dwarka, will arise. May that supremely charming Radha Kund be my shelter. So what is being prayed here? That if the importance of taking bath in Radha Kund is described here. It is said that there are different stages in devotional service. And the supermost stage in devotional life, or in the supermost state in a bhakti, is said to be the prema bhakti. Prema bhakti means the bhakti which is imbued with the love of Krishna and which is in the mode of Parakiya Bhava, in the mode of Vrindavan, in the mode of Vraj Dham. It is said that, and who can give us that bhakti? That also we discuss in the Damodarastakam. He says, Tatha prema bhaktim swakame prayacha namokshe graho me asti damodareha. The importance of that kind of prema bhakti is described in one of the verses of Damodarastakam. It is said that the namokshe graho me asti damodareha. So I don't want any boon. I don't have the boon of having moksha. I don't want the boon of having any material opulences. I don't want the boon of going to spiritual world. So varam deva moksham na moksham vadimva na chanyam raneham varesha dapiha. Then what do you want? He wants prema bhakti. Tatha prema bhakti swakame prayacha. The prema bhakti is of that kind that nothing stands in front of that. So, but how do we develop that prema bhakti which is been described there? It is said here in this verse that if we take bath in the Radha Kund, then we develop that desire of having that superlative prema. Superlative prema means the highest level, highest stage of devotional service. Because to have the prema bhakti, to have that desire, for one to have that kind of devotional service, that kind of mood towards devotional service toward Krishna, he has to have that kind of desire. If a person does not have a desire, how can he achieve it? Before desiring, nothing will come, right? So, even to get a desire to reach to that point is not easy thing. Even to desire to serve Krishna is not easy thing. Because it is said that there are so many living entities in this material world. How many desire to serve Krishna? Very few people, right? So, even to serve Krishna, there are so few people who desire. And what would be the state, what would be the number of people who would want to desire the highest amount kind of bhakti? That is very even rarest situation, right? And it is said here that anybody who takes bath in Radha Kund will develop that desire having the prema. And that superlative prema is not attainable even for Krishna's principal queen in Dwarka. Because Krishna's queen in Dwarka was serving Krishna in a mood of Madhurya, but predominantly in a service mood, servant mood. They were not serving Krishna like a girlfriends, like a friends which is very, very close and they can cut joke and they can play with Krishna. Right? So here it is said that when we take bath in Radha Kund, we develop that kind of desire, and that situation is not even available for the principal queens like Rukmani and Satyabhama and other queens. That's what this verse says. Let's move to the next verse. For the pleasure of Srimati Radhika, even Sri Krishna himself, yearning to attain her merciful sidelong glances, regularly bathed in Radha Kunda, carefully observing all the appropriate rituals. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund be my shelter. So it is said that Krishna himself is wanting to have the sidelong glances of Srimati Radharani. And it is said that Radha Kund is as good as Radharani. And Radha Kund is said to be the melted form of Srimati Radharani. Because Radharani took bath there. And when she took bath there, she expanded herself in a liquid form. And that liquid form is Radharani. So to attract Radharani's love for himself, Krishna himself takes bath in Radha Kunda. Because when he takes bath in Radha Kund, Radharani becomes pleased, and when Radharani become pleased, her love for Krishna becomes much more intense, and then she will be throwing her sidelong glances toward Krishna, and that is what Krishna wants, and that's why even Krishna himself is taking regular bath in Radha Kund. You can just imagine how much greater importance Radha Kund would be of. The next verse says like that, quote, "May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund, which the moon of Vraja Sri Krishna loves as much as he loves the crown jewel amongst the sweet girls of Vraja, Srimati Radhika, and which he has made crown by the name of Radhika herself, be my shelter." So it is said that Radharani is the most dear to Krishna, and as Radharani is most dear to Krishna, the Radha Kund is with same intensity is dear to Krishna, is similarly enchanting to Krishna, similarly favorite of Krishna. So Radharani is a favorite gopis, so Radha Kund becomes the favorite Kunda of Krishna. Something which is Krishna's favorite, if we take that personification's blessings, so we would also become Krishna's favorite. So it is said that if you want to become somebody's favorite, you would try to please who is already favorite to him, right? So when we become favorite to the favorite of Krishna, then it will be much more easier to become favorite of Krishna also. So by serving Radha Kund, by taking bath in Radha Kund, by praying to Radha Kund, we can all become favorite to Krishna. Shortcut what is being explained here. Let me go to the next verse, which is the 5th verse now. "The mercy obtained by serving Radha Kund make the desired creeper of prema for the prince of Vraja sprout, and is celebrated for bearing the flower of service to my Swamini Srimati Radhika. May that supremely charming Radha Kunda be my shelter." It is said that the desire for a devotee is to not serve Krishna directly, but to serve Radharani. And Radharani serves Krishna, and that's how devotee becomes happy. So, but to be able to become Radharani's servant, a person would have developed the prema, would have developed the pure desire to serve Krishna, right? So it is said that desire creeper of prema sprouts. It not only gives the desire to have the prema, it not only put the seed of prema in our heart, it also allows, when we serve Radha Kund, it also grows that particular creeper, and it expands more and more to convert into pure devotional service in a mode of gopis in the Vrindavan. That's the meaning of this particular verse. So we'll go to the next verse. It says, "Gloriously manifest on the bank of Radha Kund are 8 kunjas named after Radhika's principal Sakhis. Acting as stimuli for the amorous pastimes of divine couple, these kunjas are filled with the sweet humming of bumblebees and are desired by everyone. May that supremely enchanting Radha Kund be the shelter of my life." So now it is said that if you go to Radha Kund, you would see so many kunjas are nearby. Kunjas means the forest. And Krishna's most intimate pastimes happens in those kunjas, happens in those forests. It is even said that Nikunji Yuno Ratikeli Siddhai Yayali Bir Yukti Rapekshaniya. That all the gopis are making constant endeavor. They are planning constantly how to make Krishna's pastimes in the forest more and more pleasurable, more and more enchanting, more and more enthralling, more and more pleasing to Krishna, more and more attracted to Krishna. And these 8 kunjas, it is said that each principal gopi of Krishna have their own kunjas, have their own forest. And there they plan for Krishna's pastimes. They planned how to serve Krishna. So that's how the 8 principal gopis also have made their kunjas near Radha Kund, and that's how Krishna also perform different pastimes in those kunjas. That's how the entire place become reverberated with a pure devotional mood towards the Lord Shri Krishna. It is said if you live in a place wherein, let's say, if you live near graveyard, the energy which will be influenced by will be very tamasic energy, will be energy which is always very scary, fearful, very very dangerous, very horror kind of energies. We'll become scared even going out of our house sometime if we live near graveyard. Somebody lives that. So similarly, in a positive sense, if a place where the everything is happening, and that is everything is happening around Krishna, and Krishna is performing very enchanting pastimes, and everybody is thinking about those pastimes, everybody is trying to absorb and to take participation in those pastimes, what would you think would be the energy level of that place itself? It would be of different kind. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Maduram Maduram Vapurasya Vibho. So the most beautiful thing in this entire creation is a beautiful form of Krishna, right? The form of Krishna is very beautiful, is very sweet. That's why it is said Maduram Maduram Vapurasya Vibho. The Vapu of Krishna, Vapurasya Vibho. The Vibhu means the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord's Vibhu's Vapu is very Maduram, is Maduram Maduram. But there is something more beautiful to the Krishna's form. What? There is something more beautiful to Krishna's form? Yes. The next line says Maduram Maduram Vadanam Maduram. There is something more beautiful to Krishna's form. And what is that? The beautiful face of Krishna is more beautiful than Krishna's form. That's what it said. Maduram Maduram Vadanam Maduram. Vadanam means the face of Krishna. But there is something more beautiful than the beautiful. There is something much more sweeter than the form of the Supreme Lord. What is that? Madhugandhi Mridusmita Eta Aho Maduram 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 Maduram. The more sweeter than the Krishna's beautiful face is the very mild smile on Krishna's face, which is more beautiful. And the smile on Krishna's beautiful lips is the most beautiful, and the devotees who is always absorbing those beautiful smile, the devotees who are always absorbing those glances of Krishna's beautiful smile, how much beautiful they would be. And Krishna so beautifully, so mercifully is glancing over to all those places where he is performing his pastimes. So what kind of beauty, what kind of spiritual energy that place would have. So that's why it is said that Vrindavan is the best of the place to experience the love towards the Lord Shri Krishna. That's how we understand this particular phrase. Let's move to the last two phrases. We'll chant them together. Quote. Situated on an exquisite dais on the bank of Radha Kund and accompanied by her beloved Sakhis, our Swamini Srimati Radhika charmingly engaged in sweet joking word with Shri Krishna, the moon of Raja. These playful verbal exchanges are enhanced by the suggestion of so many innuendos. May that Radha Kund be the shelter of my life. The last verse is, may that very charming and especially fragrant Radha Kund, were intoxicated with love, the divine couple and the Sakhis daily sport with great joy in water, so fragrant with exquisite lotus flowers, be the sole shelter of my life. So that's what we were discussing, that how Krishna and Radha perform beautiful pastimes, beautiful verbal exchanges, and all the devotees just get mad by hearing Krishna's beautiful those beautiful pastimes, and that land has witnessed Krishna's beautiful pastimes. So how much surcharged with devotional mercy that land becomes. So there's just a small discussion about Srimati Radharani's favorite spot known as Radha Kund. So now we'll just